Whoa, 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 hold up.
Are you sure about this? Are you supposed to be doing that?
I'm gonna need you to stop right there and freeze. What is going on YouTube? And I'm here to talk to you today about things that you probably shouldn't be doing.
I didn't even think anybody saw me. You can't prove it.
Stay tuned today to this channel and on this video as we discuss 3 things that Christians should not do. What is going on YouTube, and welcome back to Faith Like That, a Christian ministry that is dedicated to helping you live a clean life for Christ and to live that life abundantly. We want you not just to have faith, but to have applied faith working in your life, the kind of faith that can move mountains. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Hit that bell icon so you can connect with us and know when the videos are coming out. We would also love to connect with you on social media and other social media platforms and see you in all these spaces that we are. So again, today we're here to talk about 3 things that Christians should not do. And please stay tuned to the end of the video so you can get all this great content that we're going to share with you today. All right, now we can probably think of a lot of things that Christians should do and speak for hours about all the great things or the things that Christians should do at the church, in their community, in their lives, in their relationships. But today I want to take a moment to talk about the things that Christians should not be doing, because there are some people who do ask about this and who want to make sure that, hey, there's a lot of things I could do, but then if I know what I'm not supposed to do, it might be easier for me to avoid the things I'm not supposed to be doing and then start to focus more on the things I should do once I know what I should not be doing. So I do want to share this with you, but at the same time, there are quite a few things that we should not be doing as Christians. But if we should be doing them as Christians, we should not be doing them as people. Generally, the things that we should and shouldn't do as Christians are seen as moral and right and righteous things. So if it's something that you should be doing as a Christian, more than likely, most people shouldn't do these things. So that narrows this list quite a bit, because we could have a very long list about things that you should not be doing, but we want to narrow that down to just these 3. And again, there's not just only 3 things that you probably should not be doing, but there's certain categories of things that I want to highlight for you that you should kind of avoid as a Christian. I can make this really easy and say that you should follow the 10 Commandments and then you should listen to the church and don't do anything that you wouldn't do at church. But I do want to specify a little bit more some things that I think as a Christian would help you live a better, a cleaner life, a more faithful life with Jesus Christ and with God if you are not doing these things. The first thing that you should not do as a Christian is put yourself in a position to sin or be around things that would aid to an unclean life on your behalf, or where you are living in sin. A great amount of faith would help you live a clean life. But at the same time, it's hard to live a clean life when you are tempted to not live this clean life. And in the world we live in today, there is a lot of temptation around always. But then we could make some lifestyle choices that would make it easier for us to live, I guess, a more faithful life, a clean life, away from temptation and sin, a more of a Christian life, and that Christian lifestyle by our lifestyle choices.
You talking about being a holy roller?
That's sort of what I'm talking about, but not really. And I don't want you to feel like I'm saying that you need to go out and be someone who lives off the land and be in the wilderness, be a Mennonite or an Amish person. Now, nothing wrong with their faith. I have nothing against their faith, but they do have some beliefs that they want to be apart from technology and electricity and live a more simple life where a lot of these temptations and sins don't exist. But you can still live a life that is fun, that's exciting, that's full of passion and adventure and all these things, and still live apart from sin. Now, the biggest thing about this is that you know the things that tempt you or that bother you the most.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm telling you, I know what I like.
Now, you knowing what you like, if you know that you like this, but it's not something that you should be doing, then you should do your best to avoid that thing versus trying to resist that thing. And that's what I mean about living a Christian life or living a Christian lifestyle, is if you know this is a sin or this is a temptation of yours to sin, then you should avoid living around those things, avoid having interaction with these things in your life versus having them around whenever they're around and you trying to resist them, because if you try to resist, eventually you're going to fall. But on the other hand, if I avoid these things, then there's less of a chance of me falling to temptation and actually doing things that I should not be doing or sinning in ways that I am tempted to sin. So if I'm tempted to go out and get drunk and party and mess around with a lot of women, then maybe I shouldn't go out to clubs and be in that club or nightlife scene. Because if I'm not there, if I'm at home with my family, with mom, dad, brother, my wife, I'm married, not to say I really had this issue, but if I know that I like that kind of thing or to do that kind of stuff, if I'm not there, it's easier for me to resist it and do something different because I'm not even near it. The second thing that Christians should not do is that they should not place things before God. And I mentioned this on a more recent video, but God is a jealous God. That God does not like it when you put other gods before him, when you take things that God created or that he blessed you with and you put the blessing before God. Instead of worshiping God, you worship the blessing. Or when you just try to find and you give glory and honor and purpose, or you give credit for your life and your success and your health and your living to things that aren't God. God has done these things. He is the creator, the author, the finisher of our faith, creator of the heavens and the earth and everything thereof, and he wants the credit for those things. He's not just petty thinking I just need to be praised and credited all the time, but you should praise God because he deserves it. He is the creator. He is the one that's doing all these things. He is the one that wakes you up every morning. He is the one that makes sure there's food and the world goes around the way it should. He did put the sun in the sky and the stars, and he's the bringer of rain and the things that makes the flowers grow. And why would you be okay if you do all these things and everything about who we are is owed to you based upon what you do for us or do for me, but then I go and give credit to something else or go give my attention to something else and don't acknowledge you? That it would upset anybody who has feelings and emotions. So throughout your day as a Christian, you need to make sure at some point in the day that you're thanking God for your life, for who he is, for what he's done for you, because he has done these things and he deserves it. And watch what you spend your time on, where you spend your time at, the words you use to talk about things, because it kind of could allude to that you are worshiping another God, a God that you created, because that happened often in the Bible. The Israelites would create a God, and then they would worship the God that they created and say he was this, that, he would do this for us, and God's not okay with that. And it does sound a little bit weird too. Now, for the last thing that Christians should not do, and I kind of struggle with what I should put at the top 3 of what Christians shouldn't do, because I could probably easily do a top 10, a top 20, top 30 of things Christians shouldn't do, but I didn't want to hold you too long. I just wanted to give you 3 things that should get you going in the right direction. And that third thing is that you should not be a hypocrite. And when I say don't be a hypocrite, is that this is something that we should watch out for as we're people who should be an example of what it's like to be living in relationship with God and to be a part of the church and live this life given over or to Jesus and born again with Jesus Christ, that we shouldn't say one thing and then do another. So we shouldn't say, hey, you shouldn't live that way, you shouldn't do that, and then I go out and do the exact thing I just told you not to do, because that is hypocritical. Now, not only will this upset people that you're around, it gives the church itself a bad name, but then God will also not look too highly upon you being hypocritical and judging other people to not do these things, but then you doing them yourself. So being a hypocrite is something that we should just, on a social norm, not really do. But at the same time, at higher levels in the church and community, but then also in heaven with God, hypocrisy and being a hypocrite is not okay. So again, there are more than 3 things that you probably should not do and maybe I can do a part 2 to this video and give you a few more next time. But I wanted to get you going in the right direction of things that a Christian should be mindful of and make sure that they're not doing, to make sure they're living this clean and healthy life for Christ that's full of faith, and faith that is life-changing and life-altering and making impacts not only in your life but to those around you. I'm so excited that you took time to spend with us today on the channel. Please, if you have not done so already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button as well if you're still here. I know you liked it. And until next time, you be safe and we'll see you around.